a second memorandum regarding the state's takeover of that Shelby Park. And you remember we talked about this. That's right there on the Rio. The administration and the press have all been working together to try to pummel, whether it's the Texas governor, because he was on our show and he was talking about exactly what they were allowed to do up to the limit of the law. And they were trying to butcher and misrepresent his remarks. They accused Border Patrol of ignoring a drowning woman and children in the Rio. And then Border Patrol and even other members of the press were like, what are you talking about? That was on the Mexican side, that the Mexican authorities were dealing with something in the water and Border Patrol never saw anything. They made it up. So now they said they filed this memorandum, and then they cited again the drowning of those 3 illegal aliens. They said that Mexican officials advised Border Patrol of 2 migrants in distress. And they said that they informed Border Patrol that one of the migrants, a woman and 2 children, had drowned in the same area. Even if everything that they're saying is accurate, how is that the problem with Border Patrol? You're told don't cross. You're a grown adult. You can see it's the Rio. It's deep. There's a current at the particular place where they're crossing. You're going to take your kids across that, and that's somehow the fault of Border Patrol? You're a heinous mother. You're a heinous father for allowing your kids to do that. You're a moron if you're crossing that. It goes against every instinct of self-preservation. And I love, this is how the left says it. They go, it's almost as if encouraging people to cross illegally in areas not set up for crossing is dangerous. Pushing that dangerous crossing is bad. You need to stop it. Like, what? Don't cross illegally. How about just don't do that? Don't cross illegally. Don't risk the lives of your family and then blame Border Patrol. They shouldn't be crossing. This is just more of Democrats using 2 dead kids and a dead woman as pawns in their open border scheme. That's all this is. You can have DOJ and DHS issue as many memorandums as possible. And you know, the thing is, too, CBS pushed this out. They're like, oh, Texas physically barred Border Patrol. But it wasn't true. They actually, I looked at this, CBS actually had to update this with a correction. Let me pull this up. Because they had 3 migrants who drowned in your area where Texas has denied denied entry to federal Border Patrol. They're using this to say, oh, they wouldn't allow Border Patrol to enter Shelby Park, the feds to enter Shelby Park, so they just let these people drown. They just let them drown. They had to actually change it. They go, quote, this story and headline were updated to reflect information shared by federal officials with SCOTUS on January 15th. The Justice Department said that the 3 migrant drownings had already occurred when Border Patrol requested access to Shelby Park to help others. So, and it was on the Mexican side, which they still didn't even include in their original reporting. So it didn't happen. They just made it up as a way to try to attack the fact that the state took over control of that area and shut it down. I mean, you know how we get mad at, and I'm going to compare it because the propaganda mechanism is the same. If you want to take it further than that, be my moronic guest for the drive-bys. But you know how you would have media quoting, oh, it's the Gazan Health Ministry. Yeah, you're quoting Hamas. It's like quoting, it is absolutely the height of irresponsibility for any kind of media outlet to sit here and just take verbatim as gospel truth without double-checking the word of this administration. I mean, nobody even checked anything. No one questioned a damn thing. They didn't even ask Border Patrol. It came out later. Their tweet is still up. January 14th. That's it. I mean, it is wild. And they ended up saying, oh, well, no, it actually, and the Justice Department was forced. They said, no, it was already after, and it really was on the Mexican side. And then the Border Patrol, you know, when the feds asked. You know, if you didn't have the federal government violating the law with everything at the border, then maybe this wouldn't be an issue. Maybe, it's kind of crazy, if they were actually enforcing proper actual immigration law, then maybe this wouldn't be such a big deal. Maybe it wouldn't be such an issue. You wouldn't have so many people trying to enter illegally. I mean, it's stunning. And they have been running this. Like, I'm still looking at all of my, I'm looking at, I mean, there's so many headlines on this. It's crazy. It is crazy. And CBS still has their tweet up. And not really, nobody's corrected anything on social media. Well, there you go. Something else. Where do you go from there? Now, this is going to they're going to just amp this more as we get closer to November. And immigration is an important issue for, border state voters particularly. It ended up being a top issue in Iowa, and I thought that was interesting because the Republican Party, you did have the previous administration that was pushing amnesty, going to give amnesty to 1.8 million people in 2018. That was part of Bob Goodlatte's bill. That's a true thing. Other House Republicans ended up defeating it, but it was something that had been championed by the administration at the time. In exchange for giving 1.8 million people amnesty, we'll get a little funding for the border wall. And that there were some people that thought that was a bad deal. It was actually part of Paul Ryan's original plan. It was actually a Paul Ryan amnesty bill. Rubio liked it. Rubio supported it. So that's why I'm like, it's so weird to me that doesn't come up anymore if immigration's a top issue. I just feel like there's a disconnect. And I also feel like conservative media is just as bad as legacy press. I don't know. It is.